Hi guys, welcome to DSW Energy Talks. This week we're going to be exploring solar battery rebates and what that means for customers. Everybody knows there's rebates, but we don't all know how it works, who it's for, state by state differences and whatnot. So it's just the three of us today, Mark, Jack, and Jared, and I'm going to pass over to you, Jack, to introduce us. Okay, so Jack, how much is the total rebate that's available for customers at the moment?
It's 2.3 billion from the federal government, which is Labor Party promised after the election this rebate will be in place. So it's a massive 2.3 billion, which is very good.
And what does that mean for individual customers? Obviously, that's a big budget, but how much is it for individual customers?
I can answer that, actually. Sorry, Jack. It's obviously going to be a little bit dependent based on the solution. But if we think of the average household would benefit without question, like every household will benefit with solar with a minimum 10 kilowatt hour battery. So that's going to be, approximately $3,300 to $3,500 net reduction. So it's pretty substantial. Something we've noticed already, and I think this trend is going to continue, and it does make sense for those people that have either got more solar or perhaps fitting solar at the same time. We are seeing a trend in upscaling of batteries. So they're going to be bigger than that, which means the rebate's going to be more. And there are some individual caps. I don't really know what they are, but they're big, and I don't think anyone's going to hit them because it will start, even with the rebate or subsidy, that if you start putting 50 kilowatt hour battery systems on your home, you're still going to start spending some serious money.
Yeah, cool. And how long are these rebates set to last for?
2030.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So this rebate is designed using the solar STC platform, which is STC. And then STC is being phased out and then will be finished by 2030. So the battery rebate using the same program, so will be reduced each year, and then will be phased out, by 2030.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we've got about 4.5 years of crikey, let's go.
Yeah.
But I think just add a little bit here, because the total funding 2.3 billion, I think could be there's some like a limitation for each year for the rebates. Otherwise, if the market booming, I don't think without any limitation, the funds will be run pretty quick, maybe 2 years, 3 years. This is just my guess. Yeah. Still waiting for the more details coming from the government.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, that is.
And how do customers apply for this rebate? Is it something that we do for them, or is it something that they have to apply for separately? How does that side work?
I can answer that question. So it's based on STC, which is like the solar rebate. So basically, we quote a customer and the price, let's say $10,000, and then the rebate 3.5 for the battery. So the customer only pays 6.5 of the rebate. So the 3.5 will be paid to the installer. So and also the customer don't have to worry about anything to apply the rebates. So simply customer paid the up to rebate price, and then we send the invoice to the government for the rebate, and then they pay to us. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like we simplified the process quite a bit.
Yeah, and just to emphasize too, that is exactly the same system that's happening now and has been for many years with solar.
Okay.
Yeah. And
what are some of the potential issues with the rebate?
I'll probably start first this question.
Oh, Jack's throwing me in the deep end. There's definitely going to be a flood to market of opportunists. We've seen it in solar from the get-go, and they still exist now. So that's going to be a negative side for sure, and customers are going to have to unfortunately filter through that the same as they do now. But I think more so because I think it's also going to introduce new product to the market that doesn't exist. And I will predict now that we'll be seeing we'll be seeing companies go to market with product with no out-of-pocket.
Mm.
And it might even go further than that. They could be offering gift cards for people to actually take the product off their hands. So I'm crystal balling a little bit here. I certainly hope what I'm saying isn't true. I don't want it to be true. The industry is renowned for a race to the bottom. We need to shake that. The industry is growing up and it's maturing, and I think we as a company, and there are other examples of, there's some really good examples in our industry of businesses that are doing that. But this is unfortunately going to bring that that element of, maximising big subsidies for greedy people without values. That's a little bit scary. That's scary for us, and that's scary for consumers. I don't know what else you might want to add to that, Jack, or if you've got different angles on what could be possible downsides or issues.
Yeah, I think for the consumers, because apart from the federal rebate, so the other states will be like New South Wales, they have a New South Wales battery rebate. Still hasn't been confirmed if it's allowed to double dip. Like the WA, they have a battery rebate up to 7.5K. So as you say, in the market, probably those sales company will raise the bottom. Even they pay customer to get a customer install the battery. So customer just need to be cautious. Again, the battery system, it's very important, and also it's a LFP. If you buy very cheap brands, still will have some of the fire hazards and then things. And I can see there must be some new brands probably will into the market, and then they sell very, very extremely cheaper. And then after a couple of years, the manufacturer not there anymore, the battery not working properly. So that will create lots of issues. And then so customer, recommend a customer, the price will come down dramatically, but you still need to do research properly, get a good brand, get a good installer to install your system. That will guarantee the savings.
And no one needs to risk their family and loved ones for a few dollars. No, don't do that.
It sounds like the positives outweigh the potential issues.
Oh, they absolutely do. But there'd be some people that won't think about things we're talking about, and this is why those companies are going to be able to emerge and take advantage of those customers.
And this is why we're talking about it.
This is why we're talking about it. It's still happening now in the solar industry. I wish it would stop. But unfortunately now there's going to be another element to it. We can't control it. We can only control what we can control, and that's doing it the way we do it, which is the proper way with good product and good backup and support.
Yeah. So the final question is what things customers need to be cautious of, but I feel like we've just probably covered that.
We might have,
Are there any other points that we want to talk about regarding the battery rebates? I feel like we've covered quite a bit.
I would like to say that I think it's a really exciting time for the industry and for consumers alike. This is it. This is the time. Don't hesitate. Act, take advantage, and do something that lots of people may not ever have done or have not done for another 5 or 10 years. I think this is a real opportunity for everybody to take a win.
Amazing. 100%. And basically, if this rebate officially announced by the government, and then the rebate start 1st of July. So if the customer looking for quotes at the moment, probably they're gonna maybe pay deposit to secure the stock, because we can see here the demand will be very, very high, and then you probably come across the stock price go up or shortage of the stock. It's definitely happening. So if you want to secure the opportunity, you can get it depends really. You discuss with your installer. You can install system now and then turn on after 1st of July. You still be eligible for the rebate.
Yeah, sounds like a good time to act for sure.
100%. I've been summarizing what Jack said in a different way, but it means the same thing. I think this is the only time now we're in a small window where everyone can take advantage of true market price rather than adjusted market price minus rebate. So this is honestly as good as it gets right now, and it's a very narrow band in my opinion.
And then I'll probably add one thing here, because this rebate, it's based on per usable capacity, and it's approximately 370 per kilowatt hour, right? So the rebate start 5 kilowatt hour battery and up to 50 kilowatt hour. So imagine 50 kilowatt hour, then the rebate will be more than $18,000, which is huge. So you might see some companies sell like a very large battery system, which people really not necessarily need that big. So also you're going to be, really based on your needs and design the system size properly. So some company will sell very cheap products and then large system, which is probably customer only got a small solar system. So that's a 6.6, and then you sell the customer like 30, 40 kilowatt hour battery. So what's the point? The battery can't be filled up. So all those things, customer need to be, cautious and do research properly.
Yeah, agree.
Cool. All right, well, shall we wrap it up here then?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
I think it's good. I think we covered a few good points. Now, if you're watching this and you've got any questions or you'd like to know more, please hit us up in the comments or feel free to direct message us. And thank you so much for watching. All right.
Thank you.
Cool.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Bye.